1, 2, the cut down. The Find X3 from Oppo Pro is official, and we're going to look from the outside in and pretty much give my 2 cents and my impressions of it. And from the outside in, it looks interesting, but at the same time I've got some reservations, but overall I think they've brought out a good phone, just to put it out there. So let's see what we're working with when it comes to, here we are looking at Oppo Find X3 Pro, awake in color. Seems like this was their ethos in terms of, you know, the launch messaging was very much focused on color. I was partially watching the live stream, and there was a lot of emphasis on color, Now, as you can see, you've got the Find X3 Pro, and you've got the Find X3 Neo, Find X3 Lite, kind of very similar principle to what they did with the Find X2 series previous, in terms of, you know, the naming convention and also the expectations around where they sit in terms of price and segmentation. We'll look down and we'll look through. So awake in color, cool. 1 billion colors, infinite possibilities. Okay. Dual camera systems, a story in every picture. Right. Dual primary camera systems. Right. Okay. That changes the narrative. Let's look at that. Find X3 Pro's 50 megapixel camera makes shooting the world in true color easy, so you can capture memories in the moment, store in 10-bit, and relive them in spectacular quality later. Immersive atmospherics, AI scene enhancement, yada yada yada. We've come across that before. You are the director. Cinematic mode transforms movies shot on your phone with the best ever artificial color reproduction. Put the power of the pro filming directly into your hands. Okay, instant magic. AI palettes learn the color profile of any picture of your phone and it turns it into a custom filter. Okay, interesting. 1 billion color display. 10-bit full path color engine. Okay, color vision enhancement. Right, cool. Let's go back. 10-bit enrich life with 1 billion colors. Discover the limitless potential of color-rich photography and video. Shot and save. Right, cool. Just noticeable color difference. GNCD 0.4. Good color accuracy apparently. 10-bit color. So it's actually a 10-bit panel. If it's a true 10-bit panel, then great. sRGB and P3 color space with the color gamut. 100% P3 color gamut coverage. Right, a lot of focus on color. So we're looking at gloss black, and also the blue, inspired by a spacecraft. This look at the camera bump here, I don't know. I'll have to see it in person to make a full judgment here. But the camera bump ain't really, it's weird. It feels weird. It looks weird. Not that it looks interesting, it looks weird. And I might be wrong. Maybe if I see it in person, yeah, it's gonna look all right. Glass shaped to our vision. The camera module, elegant, gradient, arc. I don't know about elegant, bro. Naturalizes the, I don't know. IP68, obviously. The power 4 cameras captured in a moment. Yeah, okay, cool. So here's where the detail is. And this actually is going to lead into the next topic. 50 megapixel ultra wide camera. Sony IMX766. It's a 1/1.56 sensor size. Damn, that's massive for an ultra wide. And it's an f2.2 aperture. That's a decent amount of light capture for an ultra wide, you know. And you've got a native 110.3 field of view. All pixel omnidirectional phase detection autofocus. PDAF phase detection autofocus. Then we'll go into the wide. That's also the same sensor. So that's what I mean about 2 dual. Right, okay. Interesting. The main sensor does have more light capture. It does have optical image stabilization, f1.8, and it's all pixel omnidirectional phase detection autofocus as well. Micro lens. So this micro lens is a very interesting one because I've been seeing a lot of talk on it, and it looks, I've seen some demonstrations where it really is like a microscope. 3 megapixels. Don't know why they didn't make the resolution higher. f3.0 times 60 magnification. Full high definition video recording, so it doesn't shoot in 4K. Obviously for 4K UHD you need at least 8.3 megapixels. Oh, telephoto. Okay, so 13 megapixel telephoto camera, f2.4 aperture, ×5 hybrid optical zoom, ×20 digital zoom. Okay, very conservative. They've been very conservative with this compared to the past outings. Ultra wide, expand your field of view. Yeah, this micro lens is something that's been catching a lot of attention in terms of the detail that it can really zoom in. So instead of macro, it's micro. So it's a really, okay, right. AI video, flash, clarity in motion, selfie camera. It's a 32 megapixel that performs like a main. Well, that's a big statement. With night mode support, so your loved ones can turn a moment. Right, cool. RAW plus, so they've got native raw picture take, which obviously allows you to capture all of, you know, the white balance, the ISO. Gives you just more latitude to be able to edit in post if you want. Breathtaking display. Okay, it's 120 hertz dynamic, so it's an LTPO display. It refreshes somewhere between 5 hertz to 120 hertz. Activity preserving. Okay, that's good. We need that. Ultravision engine. It's just a way of, you know, enhanced display, I guess. Sync display hyper response. OSync, serious about gaming. Okay, response engine. Okay, cool. So lag free, good pixel response. Level natural brightness. Yeah, 8,192 levels. Okay, that I've come across before. As expected, the Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 or 888 or 888. Which is based on their first generation 5nm process and all the benefits that come with the improved graphics, as well as obviously the improved CPU and different computational benefits that come with that. 65 watt SuperVOOC flash charge, recharge on the go. Right now, what's good is they've added wireless charging, which they didn't have before. So 65 watt SuperVOOC, which is good, and it can charge a phone 40% in 10 minutes. Great. 30% Air VOOC wireless. Great. Finally, they've added that back. As much as I'm not a wireless charging person, having fast wireless charging like this is something that could convince me to start being a wireless charging person. No joke. And they've got different heat management and battery safety measures in there when it comes to overheating, battery degradation over time, and just, you know, safety measures so things just don't get a bit pear-shaped. Color OS. I've been seeing a lot of good feedback about Color OS, which is great to see. Some of the reviews were actually, you know, saying that it's probably become one of their favorite versions of the Android OS, which is a big statement, which is a massive statement. So we go to specs, and as you can see, as a specs overhaul. No, so let's go back to specs. Sorry. So quad high definition plus OLED LTPO display. It's a 10-bit panel. Okay, cool. I see that. So you do get 12 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage. It's the low power double data rate. As you can see, I like acronyms and I like breaking down acronyms. So low power double data rate memory generation 5 at 3200 megahertz times 4 16 bits. Universal flash storage 3.1, 2 lanes, cool. Non-expandable as expected. OTG supported for the USB-C and USB 3.1 transfer speeds. 256 gigabytes of internal storage. I would have loved to have seen a 512 gig option, because apparently this is a £1,099 phone. And then as we can see, 6.7 inch display, 92.7 screen to body ratio as they rate it. It's a 3216 by 1440 quad high definition plus display. So I'm guessing this is maybe like a 20.5 by 9 aspect ratio. Interesting. Refresh rate, cool. Touch sampling is 240 hertz default. Okay, 10 fingers, 2 fingers, interesting. Order color space, the pixel density is really high, 525 PPI warriors. Infinite contrast ratio, because it's obviously based off OLED tech. All the same gubbins that we said when it came to the front facing cameras and the main cameras. So rear camera, okay, 4K UHD 60 frames a second, cool, as expected. Slow motion, as expected. Front facing camera does not have any form of 4K UHD video. That's another point deduct, and I don't get why. There's more than enough processing power and resolution. Why are you not allowed to shoot 4K UHD on the front facing camera? Samsung can do it, Apple can do it. That's quite annoying. It's a split dual cell battery technology, which is something that we're used to because of the VOOC charging. Dual SIM support, obviously, cool, which is good. You know, I'm a big fan of that. 5G, Wi-Fi 6, and everything's par for the course. And you actually do get a charger in the box. Okay, phone, charger, earphones. All right, cool. Data cable. It's important to put this nowadays. Okay, well done for that. Well done for that. Well done for that. It's a great phone. It looks like a great phone. Everything feels as expected and predictable in terms of where you're expecting the improvements to be and where you're expecting the improvements to go, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't know about the design. I want to see it in person. The camera hump doesn't look interesting. It looks very weird to me personally. But from the direction of the camera rear hardware, I like the fact that they've gone with 2 main camera sensors. If my brain doesn't fry me, 110 degree field of view, it's not as wide as I was expecting, I'm guessing. Usually the field of view should be wider, but I can't remember. I think it's, yeah. Usually the field of view ends up being about 120, 125 for the more higher end. So the field of view seems a bit narrow if it's 110.3 as what it was stating. So that's maybe something to consider. It looks good. I definitely want to try it. I definitely want to try it. I don't understand, as someone that does a lot of camera comparisons, and I really do care about the video performance and the picture performance on these smartphones, I don't get why they put such high resolution selfie cameras that even till now, still they don't enable them to have any form of 4K video recording. It makes no sense to me personally. It just doesn't add up. One of those ones where just make it make sense. That's me personally. So maybe I'm missing something. So yeah, that's just one of the limitations. What's great to see is that, you know, with the announcements that they had before, prior to, in regards to their flash wireless charging technologies that they introduced, I did a video about that previously. It's good that they've implemented it. As much as I'm not a wireless charging person, you know, when you're charging that much, it's a feature that needs to be in there to cater for the people that need it. And it's great to see that it's the 30 watts. It's not the box standard 7.5 watts. It's not the box standard 10 watts or the 15 watts, which is still actually very good for wireless charging, but it's 30, it's doubled up. It's as fast or faster than some companies that do wired charging. Everything looks as expected. You know, I want to try out the camera. I want to see what the direction is. I want to see the fact that they're using 2 primary main sensors, the IMX766, and it looks interesting. So overall, I'm liking the look of it overall as a flagship. Yes, you've got an IP68. It's non-expandable. You're not getting a headphone port, headphone jack. But you're getting a charger in a box, you're getting earphones in a box, which is very rare nowadays, and all the things that you need to be in the box to get going. The display looks to be top notch. Apparently, you know, some of the 10-bit pipelines are disabled, and apparently when it comes to the video, it does shoot in log as well as obviously having the RAW Plus feature. So all these things are very interesting. For the filmmakers that obviously know, shooting a log where you have the most dynamic range, shoots it flat, you can add the color back and you can grade it to how you like as well, and extracting the most dynamic range from the sensor, from the scene. Yeah. Oppo Find X3 Pro. It's weird that I don't really have much to say. I'm just more interested in the color direction, what they've done with the display being a full 10-bit display, if and when you take advantage of it. But I'm definitely interested in the rear cameras. I don't understand why the front-facing camera has that limitation of not shooting in 4K UHD. I love fast charging. If you all have been on the channel, you know that fast charging is a big staple of the channel when it comes to content, and something I'm a massive fan of. So 65 watts, especially with what I experienced previously with the Realme phones, obviously all the derivatives of the same company, Realme, OnePlus. I'm not going to be disappointed when it comes to the charging speeds at all. Yeah, that's my initial thoughts of the, you know, Find X3 Pro. And the main thing for me is I just hope they can not just market it right, but get the accessibility into the right channels when it comes to the carriers, the networks, and the retailers, so people have a higher chance of buying them. Because for £1,099 in the UK, it's asking a bit still. It is asking a bit still. So I don't know about the pricing. Maybe £150 cheaper potentially, but I don't know. Oppo are stretching their legs and they really want to stamp their authority down with the segmentation of their products, and also to be classed as a premium Android brand. So we'll see. You will see. I'll reserve the rest for when I get hands on. But those are my initial thoughts of the Oppo Find X3 Pro.